as a full-time job. Like basically, I'm not getting anywhere near enough money to say to my parents, "Oh, I can do this as a job." So
right. No, yeah, and I mean that's kind of what I figured. I didn't like mean to like.
I mean, it was
make you want to reveal that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like you can't say like, how, I won't say like how much or whatever, but just before, speaking of SPC, just before Christmas, I mean, he donated so much to me that I was able to buy a Wii U.
Right.
Stuff like that is amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad
all
that
all of my Wii U games are paid for by people who donated.
And I mean, I'm glad that that's something that's worked out. Like that you created, obviously over a year, a community of people that look to return to the sump every time that you're streaming in order to like hang out and interact with you. Like earlier, I saw you streaming right when Sarah, around the time that she was starting, and you had like 30-something people in here. That's nuts.
Yeah, it was.
That was more than I ever got when I used to stream. Like,
there was a lot of hype for this 1 year streaming thing. So, and it's I mean that's. I at the start of the stream I got a lot more people than I expected, and I'm thankful to everyone who hosted and all that. But I mean, rightfully so. I hyped this up. I mean, it's an anniversary, so
yeah. Do you? I mean, with it being a year or like your yearly 1 year stream anniversary thing. Plans for the future? Like, do you have anything like cook your brother or like code or anything?
Like I said, I'd like to drive down to where DK and Steph lives sometime in February and co-stream with them. Obviously gonna try and continue to most Thursdays do a Ratmus. Rockman and Ratmus stream something or other.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and co-commentate with Doom as much as possible. What else?
I saw that I was lurking in Steffi Pie's channel the other night, and they did like that the 10-minute grill or whatever. I thought that was kind of a neat little idea. Like, do you think that like you could have something kind of similar to that for your channel?
I think that that's pretty unique, and I didn't want to copy them or anything.
No, I don't mean like copy, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you saw the podcast that me and Doom and Steph and DK were on, but we were talking about co-commentating and why it works and why it doesn't work. And
I didn't get to catch that stream. That was with was that Retroactive J?
Yeah, his Real Talk podcast, I think he calls it. But yeah, it's always like you gotta if you spend too much time talking with the person on Skype, sometimes the chat can feel like you're ignoring chat, and it's kind of a balance, But then I don't do very well when I guess I do okay when I'm streaming by myself, but then I do better talking to someone.
I mean, I've done like of the co-commentary that I've done. It's usually with Sarah. I find that like, and Code would probably agree with this. And I mean, when you co-commentate for Code, I mean, I can see you agreeing with this. The role of like the co-commentator is almost one, to keep the streamer talking and to fill like any voids of silence, but two, also to remind them that like while you're talking to me, you still have a chat that has to watch. You have to watch and like respond to. Like my job as a co-commentator is to like tell you like, oh hey, so and so asks that question or something like that, and that kind of keeps you involved and always talking, but it also keeps your eyes, which are on the game, also on the chat.
Yeah,
it's just my thought about that.
Yeah, because a lot of times the worst thing can be just dead air.
You're right, and that can kind of kill like the the momentum, I guess, of the stream.
And by the way, the worst thing that you can do when you're streaming is to just sit there not playing a game and eat popcorn. So we'll just call this we'll just call this a podcast right now. This is
you're taking a break. You've been streaming for a while.
Podcast.
Well, Code Rock keeps you around because it's the whole Rock Doom phenomenon, right? It's gonna catch fire one day.
One day it will catch fire. It has a smell. We do have some fangirls.
A few weeks ago in December, when it was around Christmas time, Sarah was sick really bad with the flu. She wanted to stream because she hadn't streamed for a while and she felt bad, so she asked me if I would come onto her stream and kind of co-commentate with her. But she also asked me, like, can you try to talk more than me, because her voice was, like, dead. It was hoarse. She could barely talk. And one thing that I found is that I think a lot of people didn't like that I was the one talking more. And, like, that it sucks because, like, being the co-commentator, the streamer invites you to come onto the stream to talk, right? Mm-hmm. And for me to sit here and not talk, I feel like I'm not doing, like, my job to support that stream. It felt weird. I felt like I was getting kind of a backlash from the chat, and I didn't want to really say anything about it. So yeah, I guess the co-commentator kind of has to be aware of those things.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways I can understand that, because, I mean, I know Sarah has mentioned sometimes that, like, sometimes when Madison comes on, like, she gets too much attention, she feels, and Sarah's like, I'm the one who worked on this channel. And so, like, I guess maybe people, obviously people are there for Sarah, and I guess if Sarah wasn't talking, you were the only one talking. But again, you're right, it's like the co-commentator is on there for a reason, to co-commentate, so
yeah.
You gotta...
To be fair, with, like, I mean, it's different because, like, I feel like a lot of your streams are co-commentated with Code, but a lot of Code streams are also co-commentated with you. So, like, people kind of expect to go into that channel and hear both voices. I mean, it's not every stream, but it's for a lot of them.
That's true.
Whereas something like maybe Sarah and Madison, yeah, where, like, Madison comes by, like, a month, every 2 months, something like that. Yeah. People are still there. They're mainly there for Sarah because, like, Madison's never really there, and people wouldn't really know about her unless it was for Sarah. So, like, that's kind of the difference, I feel, in that situation.
I guess it's more like me and Ratmus, because Ratmus is here a lot more rarely. And also, you're right, like, up until the time when Doom got his job, it was much more of a rarity for us not to be together on any stream.
Right, yeah. You guys were with each other on every stream, and I've noticed that that's not always the case, but yeah, it's still kind of something that people expect. Rockman streaming, you're probably going to hear Code's voice. Code streaming, you're probably going to hear Rockman's voice at some point. That's kind of just the expectation.
Yeah.
And it's not like a bad thing. I mean, that's a good thing that you created that dynamic. And that's why co-commentating can be a good thing. But I feel like if someone isn't regularly there and they're talking too much, they kind of take away from the attention of the streamer, which is kind of like what I'm doing right now. But
that makes sense. But this is a podcast, so you talk as much as you want.
I guess so.
But yeah, I'm sorry for eating the popcorn. Apparently, you might have heard me say this, but I have this popcorn that's, like, going to expire in, like, a week, and I have to eat one a day, otherwise it's going to expire, so.
Oh my god.
Oh, too much salt.
SPC says he's going to power nap before starting another 12-hour shift. SPC, where do you work? Do you know that? Where he works?
I do not know.
Where is it that you work, SPC? Because if you've been up for 22 hours and you need to wake up in 2, that's nuts. You should get some sleep, dude.
For copyright purposes, this is the semi-real talk podcast.
The semi-real talk. Um, crop dryer. Okay, cool.
Turn this down.
With the whole topic about PAX coming up, I've been trying to do my best to save as much money as I can because the tickets cost me for the 3 days cost me like $200, 230 Canadian. The place that we're staying in cost me like 450. I have to get a plane ticket, which is like 300, and then like if things like food and like other stuff at PAX, that's going to cost even more. So I've been doing my best in the last little while to save as much money as I could. I'm like a big fast food eater. I'm really bad at that. So I've been trying to cut down. Like in the last like 5-6 days, I haven't had it at all.
No McNuggies?
No McNuggies, yeah. I think the last fast food that I had was like paid for by my parents or something. But yeah, I'm really excited because this will be the first time that I leave Canada too. It'll be the first time that I'm in the States. Oh, I also have to buy a passport, so there's that extra money. Yeah. What is this game that you're playing?
It's Sonic the Fighters. It's a really crappy, like, Sonic tournament fighter that it might have originally been in the arcade. It's really lame. So I can just mindlessly play it. But yeah, wow, coming to the U.S. this time. Yeah, I remember I had to get a passport when I went to Japan a few years back.
Why is Amy red? Isn't Amy supposed to be pink?
Yeah, the colors don't look very good.
I feel like this looks like one of those bootleg games. My God.
It's just a really bad game.
See, one thing I don't understand about this game is like, why is Sonic throwing like punches and kicks? Like, Sonic, that's one complaint I have about him in like Brawl and then like the new Smash. Like Sonic never punched and kicked things. He was always attacking things like as a hedgehog, right? He was always doing his little spinball thing.
Yeah, he does have a spinball attack, as you can see here. I was just mashing buttons.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they got to come up with something that Smash Brothers, I guess maybe I don't know if I need to apologize for that Smash Brothers thing, but I suck at that game. When I came onto Sarah's stream.
Oh, I wasn't there. I had to leave for work. Usually, like during the day, like 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm at work.
Okay, so
I like stop by before work and do a little modding, and then I have to take off. This game has like those, you like punch them and their head like morphs into your fist and then bounces back out.
That's like some crappy Virtual Fighter game or something. Nostrika thinks it looks cute though, so that's the important thing.
Yeah. Who is Bark?
I don't know.
I've never heard of this Sonic character before. Bark.
They might have made up some of these characters for this game.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell is that?
Code, that's my thought. Who the hell is that?
I mean, like, you know Xander, like, he lives in Illinois, sort of.
Right.
Down south, and he's really, like, he wants to go to the ASEN convention. He's been before, and so is Ratmus. So, that might be where I get to meet some people finally. Yeah,
that would be great if you guys could do that.
And I don't even need to pay for any airline tickets or hotels or anything, because I live a half an hour away.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if you know him, Zach884. He's like a mod in Sarah's stream.
Yeah, I think so.
He lives in New York, and like New York is right next to Massachusetts, so you can just drive into Boston.
Pass.
See, I've seen SBO, but isn't it like Knuckles Galax?
Yeah, he's in that game. which me and Ratmus, that's one of the games we streamed co-op.
I used to read the Sonic comics. I'd go to the corner store in my house and buy like the comic every week.
Yeah, Ratmus used to get the Sonic comics, so we have a lot of. I don't think I really read too many of them, but I think we have a drawer full of them somewhere.
I think one of the ones I remember the most is Knuckles and Tails turn into like their super forms because they collect the emeralds or something like that, and it was completely unheard of at that point for anyone but Sonic to turn into their super form. I was super excited, and like that was right when they started introducing like Shadow as a character. That was like around the time that Sonic Adventure and like Sonic Adventure 2 were like coming out for like Dreamcast and GameCube.
See, I must have been like earlier than that. Like I remember like ones, like I think we have a cover like on the wall in my bedroom with like Metal Sonic appearing or something in the comics.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, probably the older ones.
Did you ever see that movie with like it was kind of done in like a Western animation style. It's like Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails against like Eggman / Dr. Robotnik, and like he has Metal Sonic.
I don't think I saw that movie.
It's like really bad voice acting, and like has this weird like Sonic is an anthropomorphic hedgehog, but is like in love, or the princess is like in love with him, and she's human. It's weird.
I definitely did not see that one. Yeah, I've actually seen several of the cartoons, but not that movie.
Yeah, I've seen like the cartoons and stuff.
The one where he's voiced by Steve Urkel in most of them.
Like, who is Fang?
I don't know, but he has a cute hat.
Beloved Sonic character Fang. He looks like he's out of the Wild West or something.
They need to bring these characters back. No, wait, they don't.
I just noticed that the arena is like made of playing cards, and like it's like the spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds of cards. It's cool.
Maybe he's like a gambler or something.
Yeah.
He looks like a cowboy.
Gamble away his life savings. He has Mrs. Fang and little children Fangs at home that are relying on his income. He's gambling it all away.
He's a deadbeat father, yes. He was shooting me with like a pop gun or something.
This is his way of achieving month's rent by beating the rings of Sonic.
This guy looks like he freaking came out of Looney Tunes.
Yeah, who's Dean or Bean? Like what?
In this game, man, yeah, it's like it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I remember Plucky Duck. Plucky Duck was like
Was that on like Tiny Toons?
yeah, Tiny Toons. Plucky Duck was like the miniature Daffy Duck. Except he was green.
I definitely watched that show, but I don't think very much.
There used to be a Tiny Toons game for the Sega Genesis, I think it was, and it was like basketball, baseball, or not, but it was basketball, soccer, and hockey. And you could like be, like the teams were composed up of all of the Tiny Toons. And like, it was really fun. And one time when I was younger, my mom was watching me play it, and I was getting beat by the computer. And I started using the word bugger, like I started calling the computer like a dirty bugger. And she like made me rinse my mouth out with soap because she thought I was like swearing or something.
Isn't that like a swear word in the UK? Like an
I don't know.
actual swear word? Sergeant Donuts.
Hey, Sergeant Donut.
We had Sergeant Mucky Duck earlier, and I said there's a couple of sergeants. We don't need to change the game title. Nobody's coming in here for this game.
Is it Sonic Fighters, the game?
It's Sonic the Fighters.
Sonic the Fighters.
Very strange title.
Whatever. Game. How would that even be spelled? Let me look it up. Oh, okay, I see. Sonic the Fighters.
This is just like the end of Zelda 2. I'm fighting the dark version of myself.
I feel like the title of this game is very, like, English.
It is, yeah.
Like, why isn't it just called Sonic Fighters? Why is it Sonic the Fighters? It'd be even more English if it was like Sonic the Fighter.
It's almost like it's like you'd think it's like a ROM hack or like a poorly made fan game or something. Oh, snap.
Yeah.
I actually have to fight Metal Sonic now.
Like, what is this rocket ship? I don't understand what's happening here.
Okay.
You're going to, like, the Death Egg.
I guess so, yeah. I was like, that did look weird. It was like the shittiest rocket ship Tails has ever made.
Was this for, like... What is this for?
I think it was in the arcade originally.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, it doesn't look... Like, it's way too advanced, but, like, it doesn't look like it's, like PlayStation, like, Dreamcast.
Yeah, I don't...
It looks like it's not good enough for those.
I can't remember if it was on, like, the Sonic Gems Collection port or not. It might be on one of those ports.
Yeah, I have no idea. Probably, yeah, you're right. I guess it was arcade. See, at the game over screen, they give you tips. They give you, like, combos.
I just mash buttons.
Do you know all the combos?
Yes, I play this game so much. I don't know. Like, whenever I play Mortal Kombat, I don't know any combos. I can barely do a Hadouken.
Yeah, fighting games are my thing. I'm really bad at remembering, like, to press up and left at the same time while rotating the other control stick and pressing X, X, Y. Like,
they get too crazy in a lot of those games.
I watch my friends play some of the new ones, and it seems like they're mashing buttons, but they're not, and it's just, I can't play against them because, I don't know, I'm not suited for that type of game, I guess.
Well, getting back to the whole inspiring stream thing for a second here. Obviously, you were the one who made like the first ever Rockman GIF, which then inspired me to start making GIFs.
Oh yeah,
which was
the cool dad GIF and the Rockman peer pressure GIF.
I haven't made GIFs lately, but
Kirk, Tony, Sarah, and I were all talking at the same time when we were in your stream that night, and someone came up with the idea to make a GIF. So I started fooling around with some stuff, and I found out how to do it. I just kind of took off from there. I feel like there's a lot of people that do it now, so.
Yeah, there's a few people.
YBXA, YBAX, YAA, Striker's Brutality.
I thought he was telling me to do some.
That's like a Sonic Fatality. He rips Metal Sonic's head off.
Can I even pause this freaking game? I don't think this game has a pause. Everyone else was so easy. Now I'm having trouble with Metal Sonic. Because I made a GIF fairly recently, and I don't know if you've seen it. So next time,
Don't think so.
Next time I get the chance, I'll I'll find it.
Yeah, Code's right. If it's like arcade, you probably can't pause it.
Every game should have a pause. Top Gun didn't have a pause.
One thing that I think they kind of dropped the ball on is with the underneath your life bars, there's like the 2 stars. Those should be rings. Like those should be like 2 pale rings, and when you get a win, it should become golden or something. Now Sonic's like dropping you on your head. Like this computer knows his combos.
It's all about the combos, man. Doesn't fuck around. I feel like if I could just figure out like a move that he's weak against or something, but
Seems to block a lot. He's got that barrier or whatever.
it's all about the rings. It's weird. Yeah, I think you get 5 like barriers, and then that's it. It's a very strange mechanic, but freaking time limit is over so quickly. Although he doesn't have any barriers in the. Maybe if I just, he's kicking ass again. Yeah, this is stupid.
One thing I never really understood about like the Sonic universe is like Sonic's always defeating Robotnik / Eggman, and like Eggman's always trying to like capture / like I don't even know if it's kill. Like, is he trying to kill Sonic?
No, he
Like-
never does, because just like it's like that type of like universe where like it's for little kids, so he can never like try to kill him. So it's very weird. Like I think that's like almost like they might actually touch on that in like the Sonic X, where like what is it? He's just trying to defeat him and take over the world, but he would like never ever ever try to actually kill him.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like if the media is appropriate, it is okay to use like death as long as you approach it like death and murder, and as long as you approach it in a way that's like not civilized, because it's not civilized, but like in a way that's appropriate for like the age group. Like, I don't know, I think that Eggman is a smart man. He's a fucking scientist. Like, he should realize that his way of taking over the world would just be to kill Sonic. Like,
it's funny that he he would never actually try to kill Sonic, like I said, and yet it's called Death Egg Zone.
mm-hmm.
I thought I was done, and now no, I'm not done. I'm fighting Dr. Eggman in some sort of mech suit with a time limit.
Like, it's weird because Eggman builds all these like creations that have like spikes and they shoot beams, and like the levels are designed in ways that are meant to like hurt you. But like canon wise, Sonic never dies. Like, I mean, I guess Code says he dies in Sonic 06, but like in like all of the older Sonic games and then like the shows and stuff like that, Eggman never like actively seeks to try and kill him, which is kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't know much about Sonic 06, so I don't have any idea about that.
Actually, there is a part in Sonic Adventure 2 when he captures Sonic inside like a probe, and he shoots him out into space, and he shoots him back at Earth so that he would like burn up upon entry. But Sonic uses like chaos control or something and warps back or something. I don't remember.
I bet Sonic killed himself because he didn't want to be in such a horrible game.
Oh my god.
All right, here's the GIF that I made fairly recently.
The GIF. What is that from?
The New Guy. It's a movie. It's because at that point in the movie, it plays In the Air Tonight. You know, the part of In the Air Tonight. That's the best part of In the Air Tonight is playing during that part. It's so awesome. I wish the GIF had sound. Did Sonic just headbutt a letter? Every time I choose a letter, Sonic like headbutts it. It's weird. I'm just like, whatever. Is apparently the number one person is ass. Okay.
Ass.
Yep. That must have been me. I don't know.
Ass Rock Rat ITADK.
Doom thinks I shouldn't be proud that I beat this. What are you talking about? This is the proudest I've ever been on a stream beating that game. No one wants to see
I don't know. I feel like with his level of genius, I mean, he seamlessly manages to create an infinite amount of robots, has this gigantic floating fortress in space. You know, the Sonic universe is in a universe where like the human population exists. So like he manages to like secede from any kind of government intervention. He should be able to kill Sonic, no problem.
Yeah, I guess maybe similar to Dr. Wily because he's like an evil genius.
Yeah,
and like you were saying, like a lot of people say like, if Spikes kill Mega Man instantly, why doesn't he just make Spike Man and have everything be Spikes? Then he would win every time.
I mean, like, yeah, like why does Dr. Wily have to send one of his robot masters to each of these like areas to take like? And I guess like the plot is that he sends a robot master to each area so that he can like simultaneously take over like a lot of territory at once or something. But like, why wouldn't he just send all of the robot masters to kill Mega Man at once, rather than like letting Mega Man take them out one by one and steal their powers? I don't know. It's like things like that you can't question.
Yeah, have you ever watched the Mega Man cartoon?
I've seen like stupid stuff on like YouTube and stuff like that.
I think Ratmus likes to say about like, I mean, there's many things you could talk about the Mega Man cartoon, but like a lot of times you hear people say about like great villains in movie history, like the best villains are the ones who like who don't think that they're evil, like they think from their point of view that they're doing the right thing, or they think they're the good guys, but obviously they're not, or something. But like then there's some people like in cartoons who they refer to themselves as evil. It's like they're like lampshading it almost of how evil they are, and like Dr. Wily like he could. The things that he invents on the cartoon, Ratmus is like, if he invented that thing, why didn't he just patent it and like, you know, sit back and make a fortune because he would? Instead, he like has these dumb schemes to like take over the world that never work. It's crazy.
See, that's part of the reason why I think a lot of like Disney villains work is because those villains in their head, they don't see anything wrong with their actions. Like, for example, in The Lion King, you have Scar. Scar wants to, I mean, he's a lion. He wants to be the leader of the pride. But the problem is that his brother is the pack leader, so he kills his brother. And then enlists the help of, like, the hyenas so that he can, like, combat the other lions. And he doesn't see any problem with that. He knows that he's like a bad person, but he doesn't refer to himself as like an evil mastermind. And I think that's what makes that's what makes him a good character. He's like manipulative and plotting, but he doesn't like outright reveal his plan before he does it.
I can't believe Doom's not saying anything. You're talking about a Disney movie, for God's sakes. That's Doom's bread and butter.
I think Code's too focused on how fast you're going. Like, Jesus Christ.
He's saying that the graphics aren't good. I think.
How are you going like that? Like, you're going like 200 miles an hour.
I don't know. It's a Daytona racer. Don't question it. I don't know.
You could like traverse the United States in like a day.
Yeah, that would be cool though. I mean, this game might have been in the arcades. I think it was also on the. I think I have it on the Dreamcast as well. But yeah, this is a Xbox Live Arcade.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to think of other examples of like really well thought out villains. Let's see. I hate stories that are like in the past, some kind of fiction has been created and there's a villain, and they're just seamlessly like they're evil or they're the bad guy just because they don't need like a motivation, and then like now there are like movies and like things coming out that like kind of try to justify why they are the way that they are. It's like Maleficent. In Maleficent, she's just evil. She's just shown as an evil person. But then like this movie comes out 20 years later or 30 years later, whatever, and like tries to justify like, oh, this is how she became evil. This is blah blah blah, and like kind of ruins it.
Yeah. You know what that reminds me of actually? Now I don't like plays, but a lot of times my dad freaking drags me to plays. And actually, I mean, the one play that I remember watching a few years back was Wicked, and that's the same thing with the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz. It's like, in The Wizard of Oz, she was just evil, and then in this play, you see all the backstory of why, she wasn't really evil, she was just misunderstood.
Yeah, the whole misunderstood villain thing just pisses me off. Like, why can't people just be inherently against the values of good? Like, not everyone has to be like a hero. People are allowed to be bad for the sake of being bad. I don't know. I mean, that's what drives fiction. And like, when you have all of these like different ways of trying to make you empathetic for the villain, it kind of like dumbs down the whole like good versus evil battle.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of question into like, well, I mean, what's right and what's wrong? Like, am I supposed to be feeling bad for the villain? And like, well, I think that's good for critical thinking. I think that sometimes I just want like a plot where I can watch like something good versus something evil. And I'm trying to think of other examples, and I'm having a hard time. Like, for example, like Hercules is an easy one to talk about because like Hades is literally like the ruler of the underworld, but like you don't go. There's like no backstory about like why Hades became Hades, why he like hates, or like why he's trying to kill Hercules. Like he's trying to kill Hercules because he's Zeus's son and he hates Zeus. Like that's it. And like that's what drives the plot. And I like stuff like that because I don't want to feel like sometimes I don't want to feel like I have to like be empathetic for like every character. Like sometimes I just like to root for the hero or like root for the villain. Something like that. Are you playing like Uno?
Yeah. This is kind of weird because it's it's like a Street Fighter 2 themed deck.
Okay.
There's some sort of like, I haven't played this in so long. I know there's like some sort of cards that are like specific to this game. Like there's some sort of some crazy Street Fighter move cards, and I don't even remember what they do. So this will be interesting.
Interesting. I only know like a couple of Street Fighter characters.
There's like, I don't remember. This might be a special. It's a Hadoken card, and I don't remember what it does. I think, I can like make them draw and like make it go to any of the three people or something. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Street Fighter 2 is a crazy movie. Like, talk about weird ass villains. You know, Raul Julia as M. Bison in his greatest role ever. Before he unfortunately died of something or other, I can't remember what.
I know that I got here kind of late, but that's just because I was watching Sarah. But you in the chat, like, do you guys like talk about like favorite moments that happened in the last year, or like anything like really eventful or spectacular that happened?
Yeah, we did. We tried to talk about, like you said, funny or memorable moments.
Oh, okay. Oh, looks like you're being rated.
He died out. Salsa, welcome. Thanks for the raid. Salsa, Granger, and Duxendorf, and Super Smash. Holy crap, that's a lot of people.
Hey, Raiders. Hey, Salsa. I love that notification.
And also the Make It Rain with the McNuggies.
I just love the Mega Man style music. I grew up with like that. Like we had a Genesis, and like there were some games that were like Mega Man games that were for the Genesis, and
also,
loved them.
Mega Man games for the Genesis.
I think there was like hold on.
I thought there was like a failed one. I don't know if it was released or not. But yeah. By the way, everyone, I'm Rockman, celebrating my 1-year anniversary of streaming, and PB and Jammies is here on Skype.
Hey guys.
So yeah, I mean, do you have any specific memories that we didn't talk about? Some funny things that happened from my streams or anything?
I think I was wrong with the Genesis. I think we had a Super Nintendo. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. And like we had a Nintendo as well. I don't even like what system were all the Mega Man games for?
Well, there was the original Mega Man games were on the NES, and then Mega Man X series was on Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Then we definitely had a Nintendo because I remember like renting those games. Hey Ducks, how are you? And as far as memories go, let's see.
I certainly remember your stream where you played Wave Race and hit all the fields.
Let me see. There was a time like back in last April, I think, and you were playing.
Welcome, Granger. Thanks for the follow. Hope you enjoy yourself.
I think you were playing Final Fantasy VI, and you renamed all the characters based on people from the chat.
Yeah.
And I think I came home drunk really one night, and I was like lying in bed watching Twitch on my phone, and I was watching it, and there was a scene with the character that you had named Sarah and the character that you had named like my name, and then you made a GIF out of it. I remember that being a memory that I have.
Right. Yeah. There was what do you call it? Celeste, I named Sarah, and Locke, I guess I named Jams. So yeah, and then I made that. Yeah, that was good times. Final Fantasy VI is one of my favorite games. Fun.
Let me think of some other stuff. Let's see.
And so, speaking of 1 years, I think about 2 weeks ago, Salsa had his 1 year anniversary. So.
Oh wow! Congratulations, Salsa. That's awesome. I don't know. You guys went to PAX and stuff. How was PAX, Salsa? I saw pics on Twitter.
I saw a pic. I think it was a picture of Smoke and Bryce, who like were in a bed, looked like an old married couple.
Oh, I saw that pic too. Yeah.
See that.
I remember there was a night when you were playing Super Mario World and you were doing all of the secret world levels with code on stream, and you were like struggling really, really badly with one of those like hard worlds. And I think I was around the time when you did the impression of Sarah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I do remember. Yeah, we were talking about like the Bill Cosby, and I think for whatever reason, I think Sarah was on Skype at some point, and Sarah or somebody was trying to get me to do impressions, so I did the Bill Cosby, and then I think when she wasn't there later, I did an impression of her.
Yeah.
It's I'm not that I'm the best impressionist at all, which I'm not, but it was very memorable and funny.
Anyone does an impression of anyone else, it's always pretty funny because they kind of have their own perception of how that person is. I'm trying to think of other stuff. I remember not too long ago you were playing like custom levels that Kirk made for Portal.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I do.
I think Sarah and I were watching at the time, and I think we had a lot of fun that night. I remember one of your playthroughs of San Andreas when you had me come on the call with you and Code, and you were getting really frustrated at this one like boat level.
That must have been. I think that was a different GTA game, but yeah.
Oh, was it? Was it maybe GTA 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
That was so long ago.
Rhino Chew Raid. I'm just kidding. It's just me, Cap.
Yeah, Rhino Chew always comes in and wants people to be playing Tales of Symphonia. So this is Uno, the Tales of Symphonia deck. It just looks like Street Fighter 2.
Tales of Symphonia. I had that as a kid. I never ended up beating it, but I watched Code play a lot of it when he was streaming.
Which game?
Tales of Symphonia. There's that one really stupid scene where Lloyd comes up to Colette and is like, "Hey, I made you coffee." And Colette's like, "Oh, thanks, Lloyd." And he's like, she's holding it in her hands. And he's like, "It's hot, isn't it?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, like it's really warm on my hands." And he's like, "I lied. It's actually iced coffee." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, you're right. It's actually really cool. Like, it feels cold in my hands." And he's like, "I lied again. It's actually hot." It's just the stupidest. And he's doing it because she's like turning into an angel and she's like losing her sense, like her feeling in her body or something. But I don't know. If Code is still here, he might know that scene that I was talking about.
Yeah. By the way, this is PB and Jams on Skype. Somebody can link him. It probably would surprise Doom to know this, but I actually remember that because a lot of those RPGs, like I said, I'm not into RPGs that aren't Final Fantasy VI, so a lot of times it just rolls over my head. But I do remember that specifically.
I mean, like, I don't have a lot of specific memories, like, hanging out in your chat, but I know that I was here for a lot of, not like a lot, but I was here for a decent amount of the DOS Wheel of Fortune. One of the things that I appreciate the most about your stream, I guess, is that it's really easy, and like don't take this as an insult because it's not intended to be, but it's really easy for me to like fall asleep like listening to you and like Code banter about stuff. So like a lot of the time,
I should, but a lot of people fall asleep.
And like, I mean, I wouldn't take that as an insult. Like, you do stream late.
Yeah, and I suppose it's. I mean, it is. I guess it's a positive comment on my voice that it's.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one thing that I don't think a lot of people realize when they're streaming is that you don't need a webcam to stream, and like, because that you don't have a webcam, people will relate to your voice form. Oh, Code's leaving. Okay, good night, Code.
See, Rhino says you have a good voice.
It sounds good.
Well, yeah, maybe he didn't mean your voice. Maybe he just meant you were good. Maybe he's coming on to you.
Oh my god.
I don't know. All right, but bye, Dune.
Have a good night, Code. Thank you for being who you are and constantly co-commentating for Raw.
Thank you for. Well, although my avatar actually is wearing a top hat right now, so I'm kind of like Dune. Dune always wears that top hat.
See, one thing that I always found neat about the whole Rock Doom thing is that your channels tend to typically stay around the same follower accounts, give or take like 100 or something. But for the longest time, they were always like neck and neck with each other in followers, and that just showed that like the community kind of supported both of you equally.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. There was a lot of times where we had the exact same number of followers, and I think I jumped up a little bit, partially because he had to take a break and find his way when he got his job. And then the other thing I've noticed is when I play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I get a lot of people who like follow and like never say anything and then just leave. It's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, I see that a lot with like Sarah's stream too. Like a lot of people following and then like never seeing them again, and that's just because of the game. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets you exposure, and maybe you get like one or two people that actively come back and like chat and stuff like that. But that's just the way the streaming kind of is. I was trying to remember what I was saying before.
What were you saying before?
The thing about falling asleep. A lot of the time, I'll go to bed like with Twitch like up on my TV or on my monitor, and like I'll be watching a stream. And I'll just have it playing like while I fall asleep, and it's about how like because there's no webcam, you kind of have to focus in on the person's voice. You come to appreciate the person's voice. Like you and Code both don't have webcams, and as a result, people have come to identify you based on like the sound of your voice, right?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I mean, like there are a couple other people that I know that stream and they don't have a webcam, and it really pays off if you have a good streaming voice, and the two of you do. The Code has a really like low, soothing voice that's like kind of crisp, and you have like a very direct, like kind of casual talking voice that like contrasts Code's voice. So when the two of you are talking together, it's really good for like something like a podcast or like just something to listen to and have two distinct voices going off in your head. I like that. It's really good. And part of the reason why I fall asleep is because that's very calming. I think it's good for streaming.
That's a pretty amazing compliment. So, thanks.
No
I've
problem.
never heard anyone, say it that way.
I think that like, I think there are streams that should have cameras, and I think that if you've built up your stream without one, it can be kind of difficult to introduce one, which is kind of like, for example, if your Code were to get a camera, I think that it would kind of change the stream a little bit. And I think that I mean, when you stream, obviously you want like a lot of viewers, and you kind of want to make it or break it as a streamer. But I think that slow growth is still growth, and I think that the way that like the no camera kind of thing is really helps because people follow based on your personality. People don't follow based on like how your stream looks. People are obviously they're following because they have a good time here, or they appreciate the company of the chat, and it's overall it gives a better stream experience.
Yeah, they sure as hell ain't following for the frame rate. I'll tell you that. But yeah, it's I obviously have a camera. I just choose not to use it, and so it's obviously Doom has to make his own decisions, but almost selfishly, I don't when he gets a new computer or whatever, it's like I don't really want him to use a camera, just even for because I think it would change his stream and maybe the way obviously I've seen a picture of him. I kind of know what he looks like, but what you're saying about changing the stream and everything is true, and I just it's. Because like you said, we were kind of a partnership and on our voices, and you don't see us. So like then I feel like if people start seeing him, they feel like, hey, Rockman, why don't you show your face?
Yeah. Yeah, Granger. There's nothing wrong with having a webcam because I'll use Sarah for as an example. If Sarah were to stream without a webcam, and like this will be me I guess contrasting Mostrika and Sarah. I think that their streams are very different, and they're both good in their own way. Sarah has a webcam, but Mostrika doesn't. And that's not to say that I haven't seen Mostrika, but I think that they have different personalities. Nostrika's voice is soft, and it's kind of it. And like this will sound weird, and I don't mean for it to sound weird, but it kind of tickles your ear. Whereas Sarah is very expressive, and if you see her face while she's talking, that enhances her stream, because you see the personality in her face. You see it come out of her mouth, kind of thing. It's two different things, but they work. They work based on the people that are streaming.
Let's get real weird right here. I think you're I agree about Nostrika's voice, and like you're saying, yeah, it's almost like if I saw Nostrika stream with a webcam, it would be a much different feeling. It would be weird, and if I saw Sarah stream without a webcam, it would be equally as weird. And could you imagine the stuff happening with Chopper knocking over the green screen or whatever if you didn't have that camera?
Exactly.
She would be laughing her ass off, and you wouldn't see anything. It wouldn't work.
You're right. And I'll use another example. If you take let's see, there are two streamers that are. You take someone I guess Smokealoke, who again he's a very he's a character kind of. He's he's very expressive in how he acts.
Yeah, his voice.
You contrast that with someone who's not like that. It's two very different feels. I'm sure that if you've seen Smoke stream, you realize how crazy he is. Whereas if you see, I don't imagine you in Code, as wild as I guess he is. But those are two different streams, and that's why the camera and then on camera they tend to work for I guess who's actually broadcasting and how they broadcast.
Yeah, it's funny though with Smoke's voice, he could probably be fine without the camera, but yeah, like you said, his crazy mannerisms and stuff, he's well suited to that. So.
And you're right. Some people do have excellent extreme voices that they could be using inside of Twitch for radio or something. But if you want to say that his stream would be the same. With his camera off, you would be wrong, because part of the reason why, I guess people flock to that type of entertainment is to see people like with bug-eyed expressions and like going nuts and like they're so wild and crazy with all their mannerisms. Like people like watching that stuff, but at the same time, you also have a subset of people who don't really like that. Like they like to focus on the game and the chat. They don't really care about what the person playing looks like. They just want someone commenting on what they're doing.
Yeah. Imagine eating a ghost pepper without a camera.
Oh my god.
It's funny. What about you, Rhinochi?
Talk about me. I don't really know much about Rhinochi, so I can't really say much. Well, I know from his profile, it says, "Don't mind me. I'm just a guy that likes to watch other people play."
Well, then we shouldn't mind him then. But when I was a kid back in the '80s, obviously being Ratmus, that we had there were these dolls, and I think there was like a cartoon called the Wuzzles. And I'm sure nobody remembers this except me. But like the whole premise is that like it was like, I mean, it was sort of like you know how the Care Bears just had like a cartoon basically to sell bears. Like it was like stuffed animals, but like the premise was every like character was like two animals combined somehow. So like one of the characters was Rhino Key, which was a combination between a rhinoceros and a monkey, and like so on and so forth. And that was the whole premise of the show. And so like the one that I had when I was a kid was Rhino Key. So I don't know.
Interesting.
It has nothing to do with Rhino Chew, but it's something I can throw in there on his names. Can you tell us about bag milk?
Oh my god.
You can ask SPC. He had an on-screen tutorial about it.
Okay. We need to clear up this bag milk fiasco because it's absolutely ridiculous.
I never even heard of bag milk until I met you, so just to put that out there.
In Canada, you go to the grocery store, and in like crates near the back in the refrigerated section, they have bags of milk, but it's not like just a bag. So inside, like, it's like a carrier bag. There are 3 bags of milk, and that's clear plastic, and it totals up to a volume of about 2 liters. And when you want to drink the milk, you put the bag in a holder, and you just cut the corner off, and then you just pour the milk. And then if you don't use all of it, you just put it in the fridge, and it's fine. You're not going to get, like, plastic bits or, like, some kind of disease. It's just milk. That's my bag milk tutorial.
So you almost feel like maybe people are, like, getting, like, out of control with the bag milk, like...
I think that people like to joke about bag milk because, I mean, like, in reality, the idea that milk is bagged in plastic is kind of a funny thing.
It is.
So the Canadian fridges have, like, a can that feeds into a milk and have water there. Canadian fridges have, like, a can...
I don't know. I'm just picturing a refrigerator with like a water dispenser, but instead of water, it dispenses milk. I don't know if that's what he's talking about. Probably not.
Oh my god, no. Like,
I actually won a game. Holy shit!
Oh, nice. One thing that I've heard people argue is when you cut the hole in the bag and you put it in the fridge, like, doesn't the milk go bad? And I always say, like, well, if you drink milk from a carton, when you open the carton, you can close it, but that doesn't seal the carton. It just closes it so that nothing, like, solid or, like, debris can't get inside the milk. It's still open to the air just as much as a bag of milk would be.
That's true.
And water dispenser for milk. Okay. Ranger says he's going to go, but you were mentioning other streamers.
I mean, there's so many other streamers I could mention. I mean, Jam's. I don't know if you're going to stream much.
No, don't mention me. It's fine.
You could follow him, I guess.
You should mention Salsa rated us, so you should mention him. I guess No Streaker because we've been talking about her. If he doesn't know who Code is, I guess Sarah as well.
Let's see. Well, I can easily link Doom's channel. I think I can. Let's see. Okay, there's Doom. So also there's Nostrika. You got Imperial Salsa. And Sarah Gracie.
I guess there's 4 streamers for you to check out Granger in your free time.
Salsa, that's not even the correct link.
That Twitch.
Yeah, I think another streamer that I may as well plug is, of course, Steffi Pie.
Steffi Pie,
throw her in there too. But there's a lot of good streamers around Granger, and I'm sure if also, I mean, if you're into Twitter, if you follow me, usually, I'll tweet somebody or I'll host somebody or whatever. So.
All right, Ryan Review. Thanks for hanging out with Rock tonight, and it was nice meeting you too.
Yeah, bye, Rhino. If you looked, I don't know if any of you new viewers even looked at my rules and stuff. There's my Twitter if anyone needs that.
I think that if Salsa hosted you, so if there's anyone from Salsa that's just watching, is kind of a new viewer to Rockman, I mean, give him a chance. Give him a follow and come back the next time you stream.
Give me a chance, guys.
Say hello. I mean, that's always what I like to say to people that come into Sarah's channel. Is a lot of these people come in and they advocate oh, why aren't you partnered? Yeah, you've got so many followers and so many viewers, and it's well, people that come in and say that, I mean, you haven't seen them for over a month. They come back once a month, and that's part of the reason why. It kind of annoys me, really. People come in and are hey, why aren't you partnered yet? Well, it would help if you came back and, you were actually a part of the community.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, talking about the way I stream and stuff, a lot of people when they say I got 300 followers, I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream, or I got 400 followers, I got 500 followers. I've never been into the whole thing of celebrating any kind of follower number, and part of the reason is I think that the number of followers that I have, whether it's 736 or whatever it is right now, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Because holy crap, official Daikon. The reason why I feel it doesn't matter is because you say some people follow and they never come back. Some people follow and then they lose that account and then they make a new account and then they refollow. And
holy moly.
And some people make troll accounts. It's so that number is it's not as meaningful as I think as it looks. Okay, official Daikon. Now this is a person that I met just I think yesterday or the day before.
It's a beautiful read. Wow.
He's I don't know. I didn't see. I saw Nostrika tweeting a lot about his stream, so I decided to check it out, and I didn't really have time to watch much of it. But I'm this is awesome. I don't know if he's Japanese American or what, but he certainly seemed like it. And I'm into Japanese American stuff. He was playing Link to the Past, so welcome everyone from Daikon stream Unorthodox. I'm not familiar with any of these people. I'm Rockman Respects. I'm just playing Uno and talking about my 1 year of streaming anniversary, and I got PB and Jammies on Skype which somebody already link Daikon's channel? Because you should definitely follow him.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes,
Raiders.
Nostrika posted his link, official Daikon. So I guess Jams just say hello in chat again, since you don't want anyone to follow you because you never stream.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, we were kind of talking about how like follower count isn't necessarily indicative of viewer count. I mean, people that have like, and that's not just smaller streamers. It's across all of Twitch, where like a streamer will have 300,000 followers and they only have like 3,000 to 4,000 people watching them. They have like that's like 1% of their follower count that watches them, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen streams where it's like they have 1,000 followers, but they have like 10,000 people watching, and like, so follower count isn't necessarily always indicative of like their expected viewership. In fact, right now, let me see. Let's do like a quick calculation. Wait, what am I doing?
You're doing math.
So right now you have... No, I'm still wrong. I'm terrible at math. Okay, just forget what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like a person will come into my stream and say hello, and I'll be like, wow, I haven't seen you in like a month or two, and they'll be like, well, I had some internet problems, or I had some trouble at school, and I wasn't able to, I haven't been on Twitch in weeks, and this and that, and I'm like, it's good to see you again, and you rarely get to see some people like that, and
yeah,
and then there's people that just aren't around anymore for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely how things happen. People, they check out Twitch and they follow, and then I guess real life stuff prevents them from coming back or whatever. And that's just life. That's just how things work.
Oh God, none of the Jams calculation. When has this happened before?
In Sarah's stream, how is it that I tutor kids for a living in like math and science, and I just can't do math when I'm not at work?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know, but I think you were trying to figure out like, if I have 33 people in chat and I have 736 followers, like what percentage is that? Something like that.
It's like 5% of your total followers, roughly.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I don't know. You're right in that like celebrating things like that is maybe not important, but I think that like for certain milestones, like, for example, Sarah she recently hit 6K, and just to have the number like 6K as the follower count, it's a big deal, because it's like I've been streaming for however long, and 6,000 separate accounts across Twitch have felt it worthy to click the follow button, and like that's maybe something that you would celebrate, right?
Yeah, I'm part of it might be just laziness, like I said. Well, I didn't actually say that, but like doing me and Ratmus had a lot of trouble even just doing a 12-hour stream.
Yeah,
but I think if I were, eventually if I ever hit 1,000 followers, I would definitely make mention of that and do something. I don't know what it would be, but yeah I don't want to celebrate every freaking number.
And what Seven String Guitar Player, hello by the way, said in the chat is absolutely right, especially for a smaller stream. And I'm not saying that your stream is smaller, I'm just saying like based on I guess like the penultimate stream on Twitch as opposed to like the smallest stream on Twitch. First, I guess.
Duxendorf, I could have sworn you were already following. I've seen you around, but welcome. Thanks for the follow.
with streams that are like roughly this size, where there's like 30, 40, 30 to 100 people watching, part of the appeal of Twitch is that you form like a community, and that you get to know these people that come to hang on your channel all the time. So like to talk about like followers and your viewer count and see people as just numbers is a really bad way to approach like the smaller streamer game.
Yeah.
Like if you want to develop and build the trust of your the people that come back to watch you, you need to invest that time into like getting to know them and treating them as equals in your community. And that's just how smaller streams thrive and build to create greater things on Twitch. Like that's just how it works. Nostrika is going to bed.
Yes. Well, Nostrika, thank you for being here and always supporting me. Good night. Everyone should follow Nostrika if you haven't already. And yeah, Daikon, don't worry about it. I just met you, and so I need to watch your stream more. So, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a group of friends that are always in my channel, whoever it is, and I it's obviously not good to say like, oh, my friends are Nostrika and Jams and this and that, and that can kind of alienate people like such and such who like just followed me last week, and
exactly, yeah.
But it's I mean, it's definitely you got to kind of, I tried. It's a very strange dynamic between like people that I've known for like a year and then like people who have just followed recently and I'm just getting to know them. So
yeah. Granger brings up a good point. It's the viewers in the chat that make streaming a thing. Like, and you were talking earlier about that waivers video, and I kind of touched upon that. But it's a streaming at its very heart is just about gaming on a couch, but not sitting on the same couch with someone. It's you're bringing people together from across the world that can see this video. And they're the ones that keep you company and talk to you, and they're the ones that they motivate you to be your best, and they motivate you to play harder, smarter. They're the ones that kind of create the community, and it's definitely all about every single different personality in your chat that makes it like the best streaming experience. A lot of bigger streamers never get to experience that because they have too many numbers. They have 10,000 people watching them. And even in like sub mode, their chat is just still too fast for them to ever get to know a single person. Like maybe they know their mods, but like for them to like ever actually get to know someone, it's a difficult thing because their stream has evolved more now into a brand rather than just gaming. And that's how smaller streams come to evolve and become bigger streams, is they treat people as humans rather than as numbers. And those people feel welcome, and they feel like this is their second home away from home or something like that, and they're more than happy to come back and to offer their support. And that's part of the reason why I think that this is, I mean, it's not slow growth, but it's like it's a steady natural growth for your channel is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing that I have 34 people in here right now.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I was only doing the number thing to just not prove a point, but just to show you that, like, with the amount of followers you have, it's not necessarily indicative of the viewership that you get.
The way it's been going lately, though, is a lot of, like, when it gets to past midnight my time, it tends to dwindle, and not a lot of people are talking, but, with if you get lucky with the raids that you get insurgence of people, you get more chat talking, because like you said, it's all about the chat talking. And I'm not a very talkative person in real life, but if I'm talking about video games, I can talk forever. So like whenever I go into somebody else's channel, I always try to talk, like crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you just sit there and don't talk, it's like, what's the point of being on Twitch?
And you're right. I mean, like, some people do choose to use Twitch as kind of like background noise. I mean, I do that a lot too. I'll open up the stream and I'll do something else. But I think the reason why Justin TV was initially created was so that people could share things like videos and eventually themselves, but also have people like comment on it in real time. And that kind of evolved into Twitch in gaming and people commenting on gameplay in real time.
And real time evolved into 30-second delay.
Yeah.
Good times.
But I mean, like,
yeah.
I mean, back when I was streaming, if I ever even got like a few people watching, I remember like one of the first streams I did, I was doing like FF9 and I had 2 people watching and I didn't talk. And that's fine, but just like the idea that 2 people are watching me play a game, that's kind of a cool thing. Because like, in reality, no one is going to sit down on a couch with me, 2 people, and watch me play an RPG. Like, that's boring. But if you're watching someone do it through like Twitch, it kind of feels like you're playing it with them. That's
a good thing. And I don't 7 string. And are you asking like is this the
another raid? Holy shit.
I mean, this is kind of evolved into like a deep discussion, but I mean, this is usually what I do. For anyone who doesn't know me, is I usually do have co-commentator if I can. So I'm usually talking to someone like this. So this is kind of a deep discussion, which is good. And Jesse, Retroactive J, welcome. Thanks for the raid. Another freaking raid. Welcome everyone. Everyone. Somebody posted Jesse's link. Probably lost what I was gonna say next in the whole raid.
7-string guitar player was asking, "Are you a topic stream?" And I'm not entirely sure what he meant, but I think he was just asking like, do you have discussions like this regularly? Or like, do you have? This is a little bit like a podcast, I guess, with the way that we're talking. But
you know what it might. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but like me and Doom have, co-commentated for each other for so long, it almost seems like we don't. Like there's, it's getting a little, like we can't think of things to say almost like this. Like, I mean, you're coming up with stuff to say that I haven't thought about, and we're having an interesting discussion. When you bring a new person in, I think, it makes for fresher conversation, I guess. Hey, Xander.
And I agree. Hey, Xander. Something I was talking about earlier with like bigger streamers. When I said earlier about bigger streamers not getting to know their Twitch chat, that's not entirely true. But I feel like it's so much more difficult just because of
Thanks for the host, Xander.
Just because of the volume of messages that they receive. Like, I'll give you an example. Lethal Frag is a streamer who 2 years ago I was first watching, and he always played The Binding of Isaac. And when he first started out streaming full time, he didn't have anywhere near the amount of viewership that he has now today. And it was almost like there would be nights where the chat was just dead. It was slow. It was it was a difficult thing to watch because you knew that there was something special there, but there was no like.
Just getting host trains. Xander, I don't know if I think Xander was streaming. I don't know if it's like an unofficial raid or not. But thanks Xander and Retro and everyone, Stig coming in, Cloud, McPherson. I haven't seen you before. What was I gonna say? Oh, well, like when I first started the stream today, I was, and it's like it's all about hosting now. I got like 54 people like at the beginning of the stream, and like the chat was actually like moving a lot faster than I was used to. I was having trouble keeping up with even that many people.
And I mean, as the stream grows and gets bigger, that's something you kind of get used to. But to kind of add to what I was saying earlier, the guy that I was talking about, he regularly has like 2,000 to 3,000 people watching him at night, and his chat is always in sub only. And for him to be able to build a personal relationship with thousands of people watching him, as opposed to the smaller amount that you get with a stream like yours, Rockman, it's absurd and it's unheard of. And that's not to say that he doesn't have like personal relationships with maybe like a couple or like maybe a good handful or a group, but it's going to eventually get to a certain point where the amount of people following is so high that your follower notification has to be turned off because it's interrupting everything about the stream. And eventually even like a subscriber notification has to get turned off because you're getting like hundreds of subs a night.
The amount of follows is too damn high.
Yes.
The other thing I was gonna mention is like with my schedule, I tend to start at 6:30 my time, and a lot of times I was going till this late at night. Like right now it's 2:42 in the morning, but like it seems like lately, and by lately I guess I mean the past couple of months. Like when it gets to past midnight, the viewers tend to get lower and lower as people go to sleep, and sometimes like it'll get to the point where it's like 12:30 and it says they have 10 viewers, but like no one's really talking because most people are just lurking and they're asleep, and then it got to the point where like a lot of times I was having to end streams early because just no one was there, and I just wasn't into it as much. This is kind of an aberration, as I said. It's because of the hype of the 1 year and just everyone getting off now and hosting.
Agreed.
It's unusual for me to get anywhere near this amount of people, especially this late.
And I think that with the thing about how people kind of tend to dip off when it gets later, people see people going to bed, they themselves, and like this isn't like don't anybody in the chat take this as like a hit to your intelligence or your ability to hold a conversation or anything, but like it's difficult for a single person to carry a chat. It's very difficult for like just a single viewer to chat with the streamer, and obviously when you have a lot of people in the chat who are actively chatting, it's easy to build off of each other and discuss topics and talk about your favorite games and your foods or whatever. It's easier for a chat to flow when you have like 4 or 5 active people chatting, because more people are willing to like input their thoughts and ideas.
Who would ever talk about food in a chat? Yeah. Why would a view can't make money? That's like clothing shop. It's just because of like I'm like James is saying, like I'm a streamer who sure I enjoy the games that I'm playing, but the reason why I'm streaming on Twitch is because I like to interact with the people in chat. So if nobody's talking in chat, I get really, wow, I actually won a game.
Nice.
Like, it's like, for me, and again, this is just for me. If I don't have chat interaction, then my interest goes away.
And I think that, I mean, if I don't know if you do or not, but I read like the Twitch subreddit, and I read stuff about ways to grow your stream and ways to keep yourself motivated when because there are probably people that have been streaming for a year and they only have like 20 to 50 followers. They just haven't hit a break. But then there's probably people that have been streaming for a year who have like thousands and thousands of viewers. And they got lucky. They picked the right game at the right time, and they have all of these elements to their stream that just attract people. And once it's like that slippery slope. As soon as you hit that breaking point, followers and viewers and donations and all this stuff, it all just flows in because people flock to popular places. And I think that the part of the reason why it's difficult for you to continue streaming when your view count is low or the chat isn't active is because in the back of your mind you're playing a game, but you're also playing a game for the purpose of interacting with others. And if there's no one interacting with you, it can be really difficult for you to stay motivated and be able to, like, I saw that comment too, to stay motivated and, like, truck on through, like, I guess, quote unquote, the hard times. But that's the struggle of the streamer, right? Like, you're going to have off days, but then you're going to have good days too, right? It's always like an up and down hill battle, and it's about perseverance and dedication. I think ultimately that's what it's about. And at least that's what it's about with regard to like your ability to push yourself forward.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have the feeling that you don't want to give up, because certainly in a year, I've had streams that have gone absolutely horrible for one reason or another, and then I've had streams that have gone, absolutely amazing for one reason or for another, and you just have to keep going after the bad ones and keep on trucking.
Yeah, you roll with the punches. And Daikon raises an interesting point. He says that he plays video games because he has a love for video games, hence why he started streaming. And my rebuttal to that is, I think that Twitch is mainly, it is a gaming website, but I think that what attracts people to Twitch is that there is that chat to viewer interaction. Like, my rebuttal is that if you play video games because you have a love for video games, why aren't you just a YouTuber? Like, why do you choose to stream on Twitch rather than just record your gameplay and post it on YouTube? Like, there's a very fundamental difference between posting gameplay on YouTube and reading comments after the fact, and then streaming your current video gameplay and interacting with people as the gameplay happens. Like, there's a very distinct difference there. So just because you don't expect anyone to actually come to your stream doesn't mean that there isn't that, like, that isn't what, like, Twitch is kind of about. Like, people expect, I feel, that when they're streaming, they want people to come in, to say hello and interact with them. I think that there's people who want to play games, but they only want to play games, and then there's people who want to play games who also want to interact with people at the same time.
I mean, obviously there's both parts to it, with the interaction with the chat and the play. Like I said, I do enjoy playing the games, and I enjoy interacting with the chats. I don't know, maybe some people like one a little bit more than the other. And because then the other thing too is like, because I know a lot of people, so like if Nostrika and a bunch of people like had to go to sleep or something, and then I continued on playing the game, I would like, in the back of my mind I would be like, well, these people had to go to sleep, so they're missing out on me playing this game. So maybe I should be streaming when they're awake, when they're here.
Right, but what I'm saying is that even if it was like a 51 to 49 split, or even if it was like a 99 to 1% split in favor of gameplay, and rather than interacting with the chat, the fact that you even have 1% of your being wanting to interact with people as you play means that you should be streaming on Twitch. I mean, you can do both. You can do YouTube and Twitch, but the fact that you want that interaction means that you should be here, because that's what Twitch is about. At the very heart of Twitch, it's about sharing gameplay with others and talking to others about the gameplay that you're seeing, right? So that's where I see the difference, and that's...
Yeah, it is a major difference. Since Jesse's not here, I can talk about backseat gaming. Like, obviously, I've had a rocky relationship getting to know people on Twitch with the whole backseat gaming thing, because I've always thought specifically, like, if you're going to play a game and you don't want people to help you, then why are you playing in a medium where people are able to talk to you? Like, I would say, like, to myself, obviously, like, if you want no help, why don't you play the game alone in a room by yourself, But I obviously people have, they have different.
I think that is a topic that people do share different views, because I mean, if I play a game for the first time, but I've chosen to play it on Twitch, it kind of signifies to me that I want company while I play this new game, and I want people to see my experience while I play the new game, but at the same time, I don't want people to, like, spoil things for me about that game. And that's kind of my view on that. Although I haven't really played any games that things can be spoiled for me, so...
Yeah. I mean, like, when I play, like, Super Mario 3D World, like, the only thing that I don't want spoiled is, like, I want to see the levels, like, for the first time myself. That's, like, all I want, because I'm so pro backseat gaming. But, like, so then once I do that, I'm all about people telling me where stuff is or what I'm doing wrong or whatnot. But yeah, I'm a little unusual in the backseat gaming department.
I like what Granger is saying. He says, I love video games, but I'm not even watching you play. I'm still around, but I'm here for, like, the community and the chat. One interesting thing to bring up, though, is that, I mean, Rockman's playing Uno on Xbox Live Arcade. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a bad game, but I'm saying, like,
yeah,
primarily we're kind of just talking.
Yeah, I started out the stream tonight. I played Sonic CD and Portal 1 and Portal 2, and so I was really playing those games. And then those are the games that I had planned, and then I didn't really have anything planned after this, so I was kind of, and then Jams came on, and it sort of got into this really nice discussion, so I'm like, I need to just throw something on here that really doesn't matter, so, like...
I mean, you're going to have different people's opinions on this, but, like, let me use this example. If you come on Twitch to watch something like League of Legends, I guarantee that if you're coming on Twitch to watch League of Legends, you're probably clicking, like, one of the top 3 or 4 streamers who have thousands of viewers. And I mean, you're not there for the chat. You're there to watch the gameplay. You're there to watch the pros play League, like, the way that you can't play it. Whereas if, it's something like Uno, or, like, maybe like The Legend of Zelda, or, like, some kind of single-player casual game, yes, you might be interested in the game, but you're probably also there because you want to talk to people about what you're watching, right? So there's those two different mindsets. There's people who only want to watch the gameplay, but then there's also people that kind of want both experiences. They want to see the chat and the commentary, and they also want to see the gameplay at the same time. That's kind of my thought about that. I like what Nelica said about how sometimes we have issues on Twitch with people backseating because somebody can just make an account and they're anonymous in the world. They can spoil someone's fun without any kind of repercussion or any kind of, like...
Yeah, then, there's trolls, of course. If you want to talk about, I guess... a random Rockman memory. Like the first time when, like, just a random troll just came in and said something offensive, and we had to ban him. I was playing Ocarina of Time, and of course Doom was on Skype. I was in the Fire Temple, and this person he just came in. I don't remember what his name is, but he said the Holocaust never happened. And I was like, wow, okay, I guess we're banning this person. And it was like way back. I mean, I was, like you said, probably April or something. And I started streaming at the end of January, and probably April was about when I started co-commentating with Doom. So things started to pick up and stuff. So.
And I mean, the best way to deal with those types of people is to ban them. Is to not talk about like why they were banned. Just ignore it, and also set up your account so that if, in order for someone to watch you, they have to have a verified email account with Twitch.
Yeah.
Because then if they do come back and they try to do the same thing, you have the satisfaction that you made them make a new account. They had to make a new email to associate with that Twitch account. All to be banned within like 5 seconds to post their stupid message that is ultimately just going to be ignored by the chat. Like, it's such a waste of their time. That's the best way to deal with it, because once it's happened to them once, if they don't learn, it's going to happen again and again, and they will eventually just stop because it's such a waste of their time.
Yeah, I've had that on for a while, so. And yeah, you still get some people, but.
And yeah, you're always going to get the people. I mean, I think one time in Sarah's chat, she was playing Halo, and we had the same guy come back and make accounts 1 through like 30 something, doing the same thing over and over again. But I mean, the guy wasted his whole night doing something and got like no satisfaction out of it, because Sarah, being a smart girl, didn't like acknowledge him. The guy was just banned instantly, and trigger figure banned, and like absolutely no satisfaction from him. And that's, I feel like that's the best way to deal with that kind of trolling.
Hashtag bye Felicia.
Hashtag bye Felicia. I don't mean to like cut this short or anything, but I think that I'm gonna have to go in like a minute or two, just because it's like almost 4 for me and I need to get to bed.
And yeah, well, thank you for being here and this amazing discussion. It was awesome.
I mean, thanks for having me. I'm more than happy to. I love Twitch. I'm more than happy to come on and talk to you about like my thoughts and feelings about things. That's why I'm excited to go to PAX, and that's why I'm on here every day. Like, I'm on Twitch watching streams and chatting, and even if I'm just lurking, I'm usually always on Twitch. But I think that it's very good that, right now you have like 40 people watching, and you've probably seen most of their names before. Whereas a streamer who has 20,000 followers and 500 people watching, they don't really know anyone in the chat. And that's not the case for 100% of streamers, but I feel like it's very much easier for you to stay motivated as a streamer when you have that tight-knit group that communicate, that like the people that drive you forward with streaming. Like, they're there for you, they support you, they donate to you, they devote their time to watching you. And I'm more than happy to be on the call for a few hours and talk to you with it's absolutely no struggle at all. If there's anyone new in the chat and they're watching Rockman for the first time, which I mean I doubt, but if someone from one of those hosted channels is listening in just as background noise, you should give Rockman respect to follow, because he'll definitely earn it. He's a good streamer. He's very in touch with all of his followers. He updates on Twitter when he streams next. He plays a pretty wide variety of games. So if you're into things like Grand Theft Auto, or casual games like Zelda, or something kind of silly like DOS Wheel of Fortune, he's your guy to go to and watch. to lay back and relax for a night or two. But give them a chance, and I think that you'll definitely enjoy your stay here.
There's freaking trolls. There are a lot of new people here because especially with Daikon's raid, brought in a lot of new people.
Awesome.
But yeah, then there's people like Hellyman. But it's unfortunately I don't know how much longer I can keep this up because it's 3 a.m. for me too, and I'm tired as well.
Well, I mean, if you've got like one more person or something that wants to come in, like I don't know, maybe you could get them going or something. But I just wanted to give that little spiel at the end before I head out, and I hope that I hope that I didn't talk too much.
You talked for 2 hours according to this, and I just now realized that I could have had you on the camera. I had the whole thing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's minimized the whole time. Anyways, obviously I'm not a camera person.
Right. No, I just mean I hope I didn't like talk over you too much because sometimes I feel like when I go commentate, I talk like I don't shut up. But
I'm sure everyone in chat was upset because you were talking. No.
Oh yeah, they hated it.
It was. I feel like it was great. So.
Also, I'm glad. I'm glad that you've been streaming for a year, and I'm glad that you found peace and you're doing something that you love on Twitch, and I'm glad that you found that. And yeah, I hope. I mean, another year to you in streaming, and many more after that. I hope that your channel grows, and I hope that good things happen. I hope that you get a chance to go and hang out with PK and Steffi, and I hope that you keep coming up with new ideas for streams and everything like that. Who's this Jams guy talking about over my Uno gameplay? Who's this guy? Who's this Canadian talking? I just want to hear the Uno sound effects.
What's this bag milked? All a boot.
Oh, but yeah, thanks for having me on the stream. I'm happy that. I'm happy that you would have me just to talk for a while.
And you'll have to be here to represent for Sarah since she couldn't be here. So.
To be fair, I know that she really wanted to because we had a little talk before she went to sleep, and she said that she wanted to come and chat, but she was about to pass out and that she needed to go to sleep because she has to be up in 7 hours to stream.
Yeah, I don't know if the whole thing when I started and the whole thing crashed might have screwed things up too, because I mean she could have been on just first thing just for a little while, but then that got screwed up. So, the one other thing I was going to mention was there. I posted on YouTube today that like this little video of like the failed test stream of like the first time I tried to stream and it didn't actually broadcast, and I don't know, it was. I mean, I probably mentioned this before, but it was great to like, even before, I started streaming. Like there were.
Now, do you post all of your streams?
Unless there's some sort of reason, like if I'm playing Wheel of Fortune and the VOD gets muted, I wouldn't post that. Or like if something goes like way off the rails, then I don't post it to YouTube, which happens rarely. But other than that, I will post everything on YouTube, all the streams.
So I guess that's another thing that maybe the chat would want to know is Rockman is very involved with, if his viewers miss a stream, they can always catch it on YouTube if they really want to go back and watch it. Or just, you only use your Twitter for your stream. So like that's another thing. If you follow Rockman on Twitter, then you're able to like keep up with when his next stream will be.
You're not going to get a lot of Twitter spam, yeah, because it's usually just.
It's usually just a tweet about the next day.
Yeah, like when I was first starting out, like I didn't start from zero. I had like 5-10 people like at the start because of mainly Sarah's stream, and also I have a shoe and you and Doom, to help me get through like the growing pains and stuff. And figuring out how to do it all.
I'm glad that that was able to happen because those first few streams where you don't really have anyone is it's a difficult thing. But I'm glad that at least with every stream, you've got a decent amount of people here to talk to. Ducks. But yeah, I should probably go. Get some sleep.
All right.
But thank you for having me, and yeah, I mean, 1 year stream anniversary. I hope that there's a second year. I hope that there's a third year. And I hope that the stream starts to take off in directions that you never thought were possible.
Well, I can't. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later, hopefully.
Yeah. Have a good night, Rob.
Right, bye,
enjoy the rest of your stream.
Thank you. Okay, that was PB and Jammies. Now, yeah, during the course of this stream, I've talked to DK and Jams and Nostrika and Kodoom and Steffi Pie and Ite Luna. All right, bye, Daikon. But yeah, I'm. How long have I been streaming actually tonight? Is a good question. Obviously, yeah, I've been streaming a little less than 8 hours, but for whatever reason, I'm pretty damn tired. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That was Skype. It wasn't an actual phone. It's just Skype turning off. So yeah, thanks to everyone who rated during this stream and everyone who hosted during this stream. And of course everyone who donated during this stream. For those new people who are here, I'm not... well, I don't want to get into my whole financial situation, but basically any donations, I'm trying to save up for a new computer. It'll take a long time, so don't worry about it. Hashtag don't worry about it. It's going to get so late. Yeah, that would be me, Duxendorf. It's going to get so late, we're probably going to raid somebody. But I'm just super tired for some reason, and I'm not looking forward to tomorrow, so... if you want to know when my next stream will be, if anybody did check out my rules and information down there, I usually stream once every 3 days. And Thursdays is usually the day when my brother comes over in the afternoon, so the next stream will be Thursday afternoon, Rockman and Ratmus. Ratmus is my brother. I don't know what game we're playing yet. And then I'll probably do a large stream Thursday night, most likely, unless something changes. But yeah, you can always follow me on Twitter if you want to know that. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I could get something to drink and keep going, or I could just. I don't know. I probably shouldn't do that because I have to, before I go to sleep, I have to like shut down everything and move a bunch of crap. So. You mean, what does Rapmus do for a job, or what does he do on the stream? Because he doesn't have a job either. How about some curling? I don't know, I'm really, really freaking tired here. That's the other thing too. I think this was one of the things that I might have wanted to touch on briefly while Jams is here, and that's like how much work goes into streaming. You know, people might not know, but I mean, there's number one, you have to plan the stream out. Like, you got to say like, okay, well, my next stream is going to be Thursday. That's the next time I have time. You got to say like, oh, what games am I going to play? You got to figure that out ahead of time. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but. Ratmus lives with his girlfriend about 50 minutes away from here, So that's why he comes here about once a week if he can. So, but I mean, there's planning. There's most of the times when I stream, I have to move. I set up some tables. I move my computer. I do a bunch of I have to set up. Sometimes I have to change my dinner schedule, and this and that, and there's a lot of stuff. You have to make checklists and gifts. At least I do. I have to make checklists and gifts. And then, I'm sitting in a chair all day, which is probably very bad for my health, but I would probably be sitting in a chair all day anyways. I'm terrible health-wise. But that's besides the point. But yeah, I mean, that's like a lot of the reasons why I only stream once every 3 days is like I can't the people like Sarah Gracie who stream every day. Like I can't even imagine the amount of work and like time loss. Like it's hard enough just for me to stream once every 3 days or so with all the amount of stuff that goes into it, and also just the amount of crap that goes on in my personal life. Even without a job, it's very difficult. Let's see. All right. Well, does everybody in chat want to see another game of Uno, like one more game, or what? Because I think if I don't want to disappoint everyone in chat. I never said it was harder than working in a factory, Gumby. I didn't say that. Obviously, it's not. Obviously, there's a lot of terrible, terrible jobs in the world that are very difficult. So, I just don't want people to think that it's easy as falling off a log or something. Like that there's no preparation involved in it at all. Obviously there's a lot. It's horrible. Different kind of hard. Just commentary. I can't keep this up any longer. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it off here. Like I said, I'm really, really thankful for everyone during this stream tonight and during the past entire year. But I think I have to go to bed. I'm really tired. Hopefully things will be awesome next time. We need to figure out somebody to raid. You know what? I feel like a lot of you guys in chat probably like Kingdom Hearts. And Sheth is another person who's kind of like me. And plus, I don't know how many people are lurking here, but all right. Well, yeah. Thanks to everyone for a wonderful stream. Everyone who co-commentated, everyone who rated, everyone who hosted, everyone who donated, everyone who watched, and I'll see you guys next time. All right. Sorry about that. If just in case anyone here does not know what a raid is. Basically, I'm going to post a link to someone else's channel, which is that, and wait till I copy and paste this raid call, and wait till I post it, and then everyone post that raid call, and say hello to Chef. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the stream, my 1-year anniversary stream. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Good night. Goodbye.